I think people have the right to say things even if people disagree with them. I mean, look, the thing about patriotism, what do I mean? I was introduced saying it could be dangerous. I am patriotic. I think there's nothing more patriotic than wanting to rid your country of injustice. What shows more love for your country? Wanting to feed all your children or putting a flag behind you? And when we say it's dangerous, and I do think, the way it can be dangerous. I think you're an example, actually, Pearson. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you why. In the 18th century, the great English man of letters, Samuel Johnson, said that patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. And he didn't mean that patriotism was always wrong. He just meant that politicians could cynically use it. Take this pandemic. Throughout the pandemic, those who questioned the government's strategy, which has led to one of the worst death tolls on the face of the earth, were often, including yourself, courageously taking on the government, often were called unpatriotic, suggested we were doing the country down. And that's the problem. It's the way it's used, my country, right or wrong, and the way country and government are often treated as the same when they're not. And that point about history, by the way, I think is really important, because we don't talk about our history enough. There is a proud history in this country. It's of people who stood up against injustice, often called unpatriotic at the time, by the way. The suffragettes, thrown into dirty prison cells with tubes forced down their noses. The Chartists in the 19th century, the first great working class political movement on earth. The trade unionists who fought for workers' rights, like my great granddad, who had his wages docked for going on strike in the general strike. The people who fought for the welfare state, the National Health Service. People who fought racism, sexism, homophobia, spat at in the streets, demonised by the media. Those are the giants on whose shoulders we stand.